In today's video, I'm going to take you through a quick and easy, simple recipe for protein shake. Lots of people have trouble getting in their protein in a day, so protein shakes are going to be a pretty quick and easy, convenient way to be able to do that. Now I'm going to be removing some of the ingredients that I put in my protein shakes now, because what I used to do in the beginning is a little different. When I was just trying to up my protein intake, it's a little different than what it is now. I still consume protein shakes every day, mostly because I like it and also to help me get my protein intake up. But for quick and easy recipe for in the beginning, when you're just trying to get your protein intake up, here's what I did in the beginning when I was just trying to get my protein intake up. So I started out with using almond milk, but my tolerance to almond milk has changed since the beginning, so I no longer use almond milk. It is less calories than any of the other percentages of cow's milk, but I use whole milk now, so the 3.25% whole milk. It is going to be more calories than what an almond milk is going to be, so mine is a little more calorically dense now, but you can switch it up to whatever milk product that you enjoy or that you are tolerant to. If you're not tolerant to any nut milks, then I would suggest using cow's milk. If you're not tolerant to any milks, just use water and that'll be fine. But for today, since I'm mixing this up to actually consume it, I'm going to be using whole milk. What I first do is I put ice in a cup, and I personally add mineral water to mine. I usually consume Gerald Steiner, but it's difficult to get that brand in the town that I live in. I add that in on top of the ice, and then I go ahead and I add whatever milk product you want. If you're measuring and counting calories and stuff like that, then I would suggest measuring out the serving size of the milk that you're using. I know what mine looks like at the moment, but if you're counting and strict, then I would suggest measuring it out for yours. So about a cup, give or take, I put in. Next thing I put in is some sort of frozen berry. Again, if you're measuring and counting calories, then measure 3/4 of a cup is a serving size, or measure in the grams if you're weighing, but I'm not doing any of that. So I just pour that in after the milk, like that, and then it's a rest day for me today. So I have all of my mixtures in little cups because I meal prep basically everything, but minus all of the ingredients from that, and we're just going to keep the protein powder. For the kind of protein I use, depending on your tolerance again, I'm pretty tolerant to most things when it comes to protein powder. So I'm using this one today in my mixture, and when you don't have other things mixed into your mixture for the day, then you just take the scoop and you scoop the protein powder in. I have a pre-made mixture because I meal prep everything, including my supplements. So that's I have in that mixture. But if you are tolerant to milk product, I use an ATP whey isolate. If you're not tolerant to milk product, MRE Light is an animal-based protein powder, so it's still going to have all of the amino acids in it, minus the milk product. If you happen to be vegan, or you're using some sort of vegan protein powder, be mindful of the complete amino acid content in it, because if it's something vegan, it's not going to be a complete protein. So companies do usually add in the extra amino acids to make it a complete protein powder, but just be mindful when you're purchasing things of that nature in vegan content. Make sure that it's going to have all of the essential amino acids in it, so it's a complete protein. So after you've poured in your ice and you've poured your milk and your frozen berries, if you choose to use frozen berries or some sort of frozen fruit, you also don't have to do that. It just tastes really good. Then you're gonna just scoop in your protein powder, whichever one you happen to choose. 1 scoop in. I'm gonna use my already blended supplements, including the protein powder that's in here. Do a little bit of that. Top on. Blend it for like 30 seconds or so until it's all blended nicely. Maybe a quick extra few seconds for good luck. Pop it off of there. Try not to make a mess. And then see this pretty, that's the berries that make it the pretty color. Pour it in. You can add a little cinnamon to it if you want, if you're into the cinnamon. Give it a mix. Sometimes I add cold brew instead of mineral water as well. But I have creatine in this one because it's a rest day. So I don't add cold brew or caffeinated things when I have creatine in it, because caffeine slows down the absorption, or kind of inhibits the absorption of creatine. So I try not to do that on rest days when I have creatine in my drink. And that's what it looks like. You get to enjoy it now. And it's delightful. And that's it. Your dairy product of choice, if you're not into dairy, if you're not tolerant of dairy, just use water. Your berry of choice or fruit of choice, to add a little extra flavor and a little extra color, like the raspberries did to this one. You also don't have to do that either. But after you've added your milk or water, your preference, a scoop of protein powder, that's it. Now you're quick and easy getting your protein content in, raising your protein intake for the day for relatively low calorie. Be mindful, if you're just using water and the protein powder, it's going to be the lowest calorie that you'll be able to get it. But if you're using some sort of milk product, like I was using whole milk, that definitely adds to the calorie content of it. That's where I'm at in my journey right now. If you're on a bit of a fat loss journey, maybe be a little more mindful of the calorie content that you're putting into your protein shake. If you're tolerant of a nut milk, then use a nut milk. It's less calories for sure. Or just use water and remove the calories altogether. That would be my suggestion. I would suggest staying away from the nut milks and just using water. And for the extra flavor, adding frozen berries, frozen fruit, some sort of something for the extra flavor and the pretty color.